Welcome back to the Soul Work. My name is Gina. I'm a spiritual teacher, creator of Soul Quest, and the advocate for the LGBTQ community in spirituality. The Soul Work is a weekly show where we look at a different strategy, a technique, a process, or a thought for your spiritual growth. In this episode, let's talk about journaling. Now, the very first time that I talked about journaling was in my best-selling book. Here it is. Now, this specific book talks you through all the strategies that I used to go from being a UK size 16 down to a UK size 6. Packed full of strategies, ideas, everything that I did. And the book is actually split up into 4 different sections. There's a section about nutrition, there's a section about fitness, a section all about stress, and the last section is all about spirituality and different techniques that I used to help me to, clear my mind and help me to basically turn my life around. One of the techniques that I mention in the book is journaling, and that's where, as I said, the very first place that I mentioned it. If you haven't got yourself a copy, this is what you're looking for. Grab yourself a copy, loads of different spiritual techniques in there as well as journaling. Alright, so let's go into journaling. Let me introduce you to my journal. Okay, here it is. I've got one, I've got 2, this one says journal on it as well. They come in different shapes and sizes, There's no right kind of journal, there's no wrong kind of journal. Let's start off by talking about what it is. I think of it as almost a place for you to explore your thoughts and your feelings surrounding the specific events and situations that are going on in your life. Some people like to think of it as a diary, so I know quite a few people who keep a diary at the end of every day. They'll lay down in bed and they'll fill out all the different things that happen as part of the day. Now, I don't see that as a journal. I see that as writing down the events of your day. A journal is more where you start to explore those things that have happened. So you go into more detail about, as I said, your thoughts, your feelings. Also, you start to look at different perspectives. So journaling is fantastic, and there's loads of different ways you can use it. As I said, that's one way you can use it, exploring your thoughts and feelings surrounding the specific events in your life. Another way that you can use it is to ask yourself some soul-searching questions. So start off at the top of the page, write a question, and then sit and really ponder it. And write down whatever comes into your mind. I know people who also write lists of what they love to do in their journal, and I've done this in the past, so I write down a list of everything that I love to do, but I don't necessarily get time to do every single day, and I put time frames next to it. So when I've got 5 minutes, or when I've got 10 minutes, or 15 minutes, or 30 minutes, or 45 minutes, or an hour, or maybe even half a day, or a full day, I write down how long each of those activities or things that really nurture my soul, how long those things take. And then when I've got a chunk of time where I think, right, I've got 5 minutes spare, or I've got half a day, unexpected half a day, what am I going to do with it? I take a look in my journal, look at one of those things on the list, and I think, right, that's what I'm going to do. Because sometimes when you're in the moment, you've got half a day, it can be quite easy to just kind of go along and do the washing, do the ironing, do all the housework, all that kind of stuff, instead of doing the things that you love to do. So having that list in your journal, it's somewhere where you know it's going to be, open up your journal, there it is, off you go. So yeah, writing yourself lists of things that you love to do. What else? The other kind of ways that you can use it is to get the thoughts out of your head. So if you find that your mind is quite busy and active a lot of the time, write down all the thoughts that are going through your head. Literally just get them out of your head onto paper. And I like to see my journal as almost, if you've seen Harry Potter and you've seen Dumbledore, where he's got the Pensieve in his room, and he says to Harry, well, he demonstrates to Harry actually, he goes, this is how you use it. And what he does is he gets his wand, imagine this as a wand, okay? He gets his wand and he goes, he takes the thought out of his head and he goes whoosh, into the Pensieve. That's how I imagine the process of journaling. You're taking something out of your head and onto the paper. Okay, and it's clearing your mind, it's getting it out of there, it's decluttering it, and it's helping you to have a bit more space to think and think more clearly. So it's a great way for you to get the thoughts out of your head, especially if you've got a lot of recurring thoughts that are driving you a little bit insane and you just want to get them out onto paper. Some people use it as getting the things out that are concerns to them. Other people use it as, right, I just need to get this one thought out of my head because it just keeps going round and round and round. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'll just put it there and leave it there for now until I do know what to do with it. And what I found with journaling, right, is It's good for looking at different perspectives. It's great for looking for solutions. A lot of people don't think of it like that, but solutions. It opens you up to your creativity, tunes you into your intuition, and also into your higher guidance. So I use journaling in a way where I literally free write. Okay, so I'll open up the page and I'll have something that I've got in my mind that I want to write about. I'll write a heading just so I know what I'm talking about. And then I literally free write. So I write and write and write. Don't think about what I'm going to write. I just write whatever comes into my head. And what that actually does is it helps you to check into your intuition, your inner guidance, your higher guidance, and your inner voice. Because quite often we have the answers within us. Okay, I'm a firm believer of that. But more often than not, our ego kind of takes over, and other people's perspectives and ideas come in, and it clouds our judgment. So by free writing, what you're doing is you're allowing yourself to open up to that higher guidance and the thoughts that are already within you, because you know the answers. Okay? Sometimes you just need to get rid of all those excessive thoughts that are clouding your mind, put them down onto paper, and then you can start exploring the other possibilities. And journaling for me is all about possibilities. Okay? A couple of other things I want to mention here. Right, some people use it to explore only the negative aspects in their life. Now, I would highly suggest you don't do that. I would highly suggest that you look at all aspects of your life so you can get it into balance. If you find that you are talking about a more negative aspect and a lower vibrational topic, what I recommend that you do is you don't stop journaling until you've raised your vibration. So let's say that you want to write about an incident that's happened to you either in your day or at work or whatever the incident is. Write about that thing, get all your thoughts out, all the emotion, get it down on paper, because it's not in your body then, it's on the paper. It's out of you and it's on the paper. Okay, so get it all out, let it all out onto the paper. Once you've done that, then start, almost kind of think, right, something's got to switch in my mind. I've got to move from this vibration to this vibration. How am I going to do that? And one of the ways that I do that is I think, right, what have I learned from this situation? What has this situation brought about for me? That's the first thing. Another thing that I start to think when I'm wanting to shift my vibration is, okay, so this thing happened, I get it, I can see the lessons, I know where that's come from. Okay, so what can I do to move forward? What actions can I take, maybe? Or, what can I do to resolve that situation so it doesn't happen in the future? So what you're doing is you're taking yourself out of that emotion and that lower vibrational energy, and you're picking yourself up to an area where you're thinking, okay, I feel like I can deal with this, I know where to go with this now, and I know how to move on. So always leave your journaling on a positive, and where you feel like your vibration is higher than when you started. Hugely important. Okay, now some people think, right, I've got this book, right, I've got this journal that I'm writing in every day, and I'm writing my innermost thoughts, but what I don't want to happen is the kids to find it, or my husband to find it, or my wife to find it, or my mum to find it. Okay, if you feel like that, you don't have to have a physical hard copy journal. I love to have that because then I can look back over, over however long it takes for me to fill it and think, right, how far have I come? So I like it, but not everybody does. So here's a couple of ideas. One is get a piece of paper, and rather than getting more sheets of paper when you get to the end of that one page, write the whole page. When you finish, go back to the top and write over what you've already written. And as you keep writing and as you keep writing and you keep writing over and over what you've already written, it will become illegible. You won't be able to read it, other people won't be able to read it. So that's a good way for you to conceal what it is that you're writing. Another way to think about it as well is, let's say you've got a sheet of paper or a couple of sheets of paper. You don't want anybody to read it, and you feel like you want to release that. Okay, you want to release all that emotion, all that energy. Great thing to do is destroy it. Okay, so start a fire, put it safely, please. Start a fire, put it into a fire, or rip it up into little pieces, put it in a bin far away from your home. Okay. When you're doing this this whole process of journaling, what you're actually doing is you're releasing all of those innermost feelings and thoughts. You get them onto paper so you can look at it more objectively. Okay, so journaling, hugely important. Also, it has a load of health benefits. I'm not going to go into detail on this video, in this episode. So instead, if you do want to talk about the health benefits, you can check in with me on the Facebook Live. I'll talk you through all the health benefits on there. We're not going to go into that today. as I said, introduction to journaling. This is all about exploring your thoughts and your feelings surrounded to the different events, the circumstances going on in your life. If you don't already journal, give it a go. See what difference it makes to you. It's a tool for you to be able to look within, to connect to your inner voice and your higher guidance. Give it a go. Don't forget to join us as well on Facebook. I'm going live on Wednesday, 4 p.m. GMT, so that's UK time. If you don't know what time that is, check out what time it is wherever you are in the world. Every Wednesday, going live on Facebook, 4 p.m. The link to the page where the live page is hosted is going to be in the comments below. I'll post that for you. So if you do want to join us, check out the comments below. You'll find the link and you can join us there Wednesday at 4 p.m. I would love to hear from you on the live call about how you're using journaling. Also bring along any questions or comments that you've got with your experiences of journaling. I'll be answering them live on the call. So Wednesday 4 p.m. on Facebook. The link will be in the comments below. Listen, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time on The Soul Work. Take care. Bye for now.